2 o'clock today, which is a nice change to be here on time. And I was just about to put my lipstick on. Well, I did put my lipstick on just before. Now, I was looking at this lipstick that I have. It's got one of these magnetic lids. You see that? It's like magnetic. And it was like this on, on the side of the fireplace there, because I've got like a fireplace beneath the mirror. And I thought, looks a little bit like, remember those lighters you used to get? Those gold lighters back in the 70s? Anyway, it's a lipstick and it's magnetic, so you don't lose the lid. And when I was thinking about the live stream and whether anyone would be here, I thought, well, you know what? It's magnetic. The people that are meant to be here watching will be. Something will prompt you to look at your phone, see that I'm going live and join me. And those of you who are watching back later, you'll be drawn because it'll call to you. And so there'll be a pull in this direction. And reconnective healing actually sometimes feels like a pull. You know, it feels a bit magnetic. Eric Pearl talks about strings and strands, but he also talks about pushes and pull sensations. So, yeah, there's a little bit of magnetism going on. Don't even pretend to know what it is, how to explain it, but we'll just share some healing frequencies for those of you who join me. Let me just check. I always do this. A little bit of fiddling at the beginning, but I'm just going to refresh so I can see who's joining. Here we are. I've got that up now so that if you do join, I can... There's always a little bit of a delay what I'm doing there. I'll put it down there, then I can see. So the lighting's not great. Is it okay? Will do. Will do. We've got some nice daylight coming in, and you can see my hands, and that's the main thing. But before I start the healing, I'm going to just read from my forgiveness journal. You know, we're doing this for Lent, for the 6 weeks of Lent. I'm coming every Friday at 2 o'clock. And you might be following my 40 days of Ho'oponopono because it's a good time to do it at Lent, because we have 40 days already scheduled into the calendar, but you can do it any time and you don't have to do it in sequence. But today is the 31st day of Lent, and the theme is release, being in flow. So I thought I would just read to you while we're just waiting for some people to arrive. Letting go of striving. I wonder if this will speak to you. When I set an intention or give myself a goal, I create a condition for myself that can become both a limitation and a burden. I wonder if you can relate to this. If I'm not careful, I can get tangled in the little hooks of longing and striving. You know, when you already think you know the outcome that you want, there's a tension in the expectancy. It's not a peace, it's kind of like a grabbing, and it feels like a tightening. Fulfillment is delayed because I've propelled it forward into a place at which I've yet to arrive. Here's the choice. I decide by effort, or I let the divinity decide by flow and inspiration. When I choose to let go, everything moves simply without effort, and the outcome is always far beyond what I might have set as a desired goal. This is the meaning of Jesus' words, seek first the kingdom of heaven and all these things will be given unto you. What's the kingdom of heaven? It's the awareness of the ease, the limitless ease of being, where all the conflict just melts away, and also the duality melts away. The duality between what you have now and what you want and hope to have in the future, because the duality between now and the future falls away. The duality between have and have not, how we perceive it. And when we're doing reconnective healing, the duality between subject and object, between you and me. And if you want to say God, the duality between God being separate, just by giving him a name. So there comes a lovely ease when we release and let go. And I might read that at the end. Yeah, I'm going to read that at the end. There's an activity to do, so I might leave you with that in a moment. But let's move into a time of healing. Just see who's here. Hi Janet. Hi Barry. Hi Julie. Lovely to see you too. So we'll share healing. I invite you to just consciously step back from the identification with the person who has a name. So I just read some names out. Step back from identification with that person. Just come and sit with me now. Take a few deep breaths. Notice the sounds around you. Notice the sound of your breathing. Notice the sensation of your clothes against your skin. And just see them as happenings arising in consciousness. The idea of you as a separate entity just fall away for a moment. You can opt back into that identification in 10 minutes or so, but for this time, let it go, let it go. Step back from it and just notice. Notice as a field of pure awareness. Become the awareness yourself. And already I'm beginning to notice things in the body. So just let your breathing settle you into the body. Feel its density. Feel its temperature. And as you tune in, observe any subtle changes as we invite this shared experience, as we activate the frequencies. It's like a tingling that's already happening even as I'm preparing in my mind to do this. I'm getting the tingling in my fingers. Maybe hold your hands like I am doing in a very relaxed way and see if you're experiencing the same. It's very gentle. It's almost as though if I could see it, it would be a little blue current of light running between the fingers, because it feels like a wave feels like it's moving. Like a slight pulsing, and I'm not even moving my hands at the moment. I usually move my hands just because I can play with the frequencies if I want to, and I've kind of got into the habit of doing that. But the point is I don't have to. My hands are being held quite stiffly here. I'm going to just relax them. Just in relaxing them, I can notice if there are any involuntary twitches, which I just got on my ring finger then. It just went a little twitch. I saw it. I didn't move it. It wasn't a conscious act. What's happening for you? If you can, rest your elbows so that your hands aren't being held stiff. Just rest, relax. You might feel pressure in different places. I'm feeling some pressure on the pads of my fingers again. It's my index finger on the left hand. But it is as though the energy is jumping between the fingers. Move my hand round. And then it's as though I'm just playing with this energy. I can't see it. But there's a field here that I'm moving my hand through, a field. You know, when a fish swims, it's in water, we can observe and say the fish is in water. If you were in the mind of the fish, would you be aware that you were swimming through water? That's just the medium you exist in. It would just seem as though there's nothing there. You wouldn't recognize that there's water. And similarly, if there is some higher being looking on us, we think there's nothing around us because we don't see it. We know it's air. We know scientifically that it's oxygen and carbon dioxide and a little bit of hydrogen. We know that, you know, it's around, but we just think, oh, there's nothing between here and there. And yet we're quite familiar with using Bluetooth and things like this so we really should know that this is full of information, this space. The ether, maybe we can call it. It's a medium, it's a field. And somehow this field connects you and I, no matter how far apart we are physically in miles. So as I'm moving my hand, I'm setting my mind to receive. I'm not really setting an intention, because as we said, intentions limit us because we define an outcome or a desired outcome, something we expect. The better way is openness, because openness releases something. If you were religious, you'd call it faith and trust. And that's when more powerful, wonderful things can happen. Things beyond our expectations. So I'm just playing with stretching, pulling. It isn't a technique, just playing and enjoying those subtle sensations. Noticing anything that happens that's quite sudden, like you can just get a sudden little pinprick feeling somewhere. Just got on the back of my hand there, almost like a stinging sensation. Noticing changes of temperature sometimes, like little whirlpools of coolness or warmth. And whether, as sometimes happens, there's a corresponding tingle sensation somewhere completely unrelated on the body, like at the back of your head or your leg. Involuntary, muscular responses. Something's happening. We don't know what it is, we don't need to know, but we can just observe. And observe if it feels different when you let go of your expectations. Does it feel more powerful? Something is activated that wouldn't otherwise have been because unconsciously we're putting up some resistance. Energy, light and information just carrying the coding to bring us to wholeness. In truth, that language can be misleading because we're not moving anywhere. We're already whole. Just bringing us to a different awareness and letting something new manifest in this physical body, in this physical existence. Because reconnective healing isn't just about physical healing. It's about life progress, so it's about changes, doors opening, new understanding, energy blocks falling away, however you want to call it, whatever you want to say. That new job, that new relationship, that house move, whatever it is. Whatever's right, whatever's just perfect in your life. And healing when we hold space for one another too. Those we love, those we want to experience healing. really was like heat on my fingers when I moved my hands there. Like pin pricks, pins and needles. I'm just playing. Imagining I'm touching your face. Maybe you feel something, a little touch on your head, your cheek. It's a light, pure, playful energy. And it brings a calmness. I feel very calm and peaceful now. I hope you do too. So let me give you a little exercise from my forgiveness journal. For day 31 of Lent, whether or not you observe Lent, release is the theme, and the message is surrender to flow. List your hopes, dreams and goals. How are you trying to manifest them? How have you been trying to manifest them up to now? What strategies have you been using? How does the energy around them feel? Try to be entirely honest with yourself. This is where you might acknowledge it feels heavy, because I know I'm trying. And the trying feels like an effort. When you are running a memory program, it feels like hard work. Feelings of anxiety, insecurity and self-doubt accompany effort. When we clean on something, this is about Ho'oponopono, cleaning the memories. When we clean on something, we let go, and the effort along with the memory disappears. In its place is peace and ease. This is what flow feels like. Clean on your hopes, dreams and goals in order to move them into the inspiration zone. And that's from my forgiveness journal by Jill Brennan. You can find it on Amazon. Let's see what you're saying. It's not easy for me to see this, you know. Let me just see if I can put a bit more light on that. Here we are. Joy bubbled up today, so much love. Little bit, my cat has joined us to feel the frequencies. He always knows, yeah. Hi Mark, happy Friday. It's morning for you. It's afternoon for me. We're all in different places, so I'm glad if for some of you it might be very early. I'm aware of that. Janet, I felt peace and calm. Oh, wait a minute, Julie, funny you mention your cat. As soon as the reconnective healings began, one of my dogs jumped up onto my lap and the other scratched at my leg, asking me to pick him up. It reminds me of Suzanne Giesman. You know Suzanne Giesman, some of you may follow her. She's great. And she says that when she does her morning, she has like an app you can put on your phone, and it's the, I think, is it the Inspired Way or something? The the Enlightened Way or something, I think, I can't remember. The Awakened Way, that's it. And she always just sits and gets these messages and puts them on the app every day. And she said her dog always comes to sit under her chair, always. They just sense. I'm sure they sense. And I think it's to do with the ether. I think it's to do with the ether, you know. I think they read the coding in the ether or the telepathy or whatever, you know, in a way that we can't. We can train ourselves to, but they just are more sensitive to subtle energies than we are. Nice. I felt calm and peace and calm. I do feel some tingling in my fingers as well. Not sure if that's just my own attention to the more actual energy. The frequencies were so strong. I feel so enlivened. The waves of tingles continue. Oh, I do love reading. It's lovely just to know that you are with me here in real time. Thank you to those of you who do join. I do realise not everyone can because you'll be at work, doing other things, but hopefully you'll watch this back. And if you do, please leave a comment, because people say that they still experience things, often at the moment that I mention them. You know, how do we explain that? Well, we can't explain it. It's just a mystery, but a wonderful mystery. So, yeah, thank you for joining me. And next week, how far is it to Easter? Can't remember. Not next Friday. I think it's the Friday after, isn't it? Yeah, I think we've got 2 more weeks to Easter. Maybe we've only got 1. I'm not sure. We've got 2, I think, haven't we? It'll be Good Friday. It's not next week, this Friday. It's the week after that will be Good Friday. Yeah. Okay. So I'll see you again next week. Same time, same place. In the meantime, take care. All my love. Bye for now.